Have you ever thought about your pilot dying mid-flight? Fortunately, all airlines are required to have co-pilots, mainly for that reason. However, in small planes, only one pilot is mandatory, leaving the passengers stranded if the pilot was to die. Although it's rare, passengers on smaller planes have actually experienced this situation. In Miami, Florida, a passenger was forced to take control of a twin-engine plane after the pilot became incapacitated. Thankfully, the passenger had his pilot's license and was able to safely land. In Spain, a passenger with no flight experience crash-landed an ultralight aircraft just short of the runway after her pilot lost consciousness. Unfortunately, she was severely injured and the pilot ended up dying in the accident. John Wilde, a passenger on a Cessna Skyhawk, was able to successfully land an aircraft after his pilot became ill. Although John didn't have a pilot's license, he had flown with his friends many times before. This goes to show how just some basic flight knowledge could help you in the case of an emergency. This next video shows just how easy it is for an inexperienced pilot to lose control of an airplane.
Okay, I see the runway. Gonna try to land over there. Okay. Oh, what's that sound? I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up. It's still going. What's that sound? No!
Okay, everybody, so we're going to have to show you here the basic things that you need to know, instruments and controls that you need to know in order to land the plane. So first we're going to start with the airspeed indicator. This is showing us our speed in knots. You definitely don't want to go past this this area into this area because that means you're about to stall, only on landing. Okay, the next is going to be our altimeter. The big hand is reading in hundreds of feet, and the small hand is reading in thousands of feet. So it looks like we're going to be closing up on 2,200 feet. Then next one, major one that we need to know is down here. We're going to look at our flaps. These are what help us to stay flying slowly and not drop out of the sky. They're going to help give us some more lift, basically. So those come in 10 degrees, so 10, 20, 30. Put those back up. Now we're going to look over here, and this is when it's safe to use those flaps. So if you use them over here, then you're going to damage them, so you don't want to go. You want to start putting those flaps when you're under this white arc. Next, you're going to have to know your throttle. So your throttle, you're going to pull it out. Then you're going to lose power, as you could hear. Put it in, gives you full power. Our mixture over there, we're not going to want to move it now, really, while we're flying, but that's if you pull it all the way out, then that's going to kill the engine. No fuel's going to go to the engine. Lastly, our controls. Yoke, it's called the yoke in front of us. You pull it back to climb, in to descend, left to bank left, right to bank right. Down here we have our rudder pedals, which help us move horizontally. Pushing the right one, you move to the right. Pushing the left one, you move to the left. And to brake, you're just going to push those tips down just like a car brake. So yeah, that's basically all you're going to have to know in order to land the plane. Okay, everybody, so we've lined up with the runway here, and we're going to give it a go. So basically, we're going to want to pitch for airspeed, and we're going to want to give our throttle for power. So here we're going to try to pitch up to get into that white arc so we could start giving us some flaps. So there we go, we got our first flaps in. That's going to help slow us down a little bit, help us lose some altitude. We're kind of high up here, but it's better to be high than it is to be low. So here we're kind of going slow, so we're going to pitch down for more airspeed. We're going to keep our throttle all the way out down there. See our throttle down there, all the way out. And we're going to keep pitching down here. Keeping the airspeed right in that 70 knots that we want for our approach. And we're going to keep our throttle out. Keep our center line in the middle of the plane. And we're going to want to put our second flaps now. Give us some more lift as we come slower. Right when we get over to the dirt area, we're going to put our last flaps, and then we might have to increase in power a little bit. So here we go. We're going to drop our last flaps, give us some power, catch onto that glide slope. Now we're over the runway, we're going to drop our engine all the way, we're going to pull up, we're going to touch down, and we're going to stay on that runway by using the rudder pedals. Using the rudder pedals to stay in the middle. Now pushing down on the brakes, pulling back to give us some more drag, and we'll come to a complete stop here. Complete stop, throw in all the mixture, and the engine's dead, and you're good to go. Here we are from an outside perspective, just showing you what you would do in the final moments. So here you would have crossed the runway, you would have moved your power to idle. Now you're just trying to dissipate that airspeed by pulling up, touchdown. Keep your rudders to help you align on the center line. And braking. And when you come to stop.
In this next video, we will show you how to perform a go-around when you are not properly lined up with the runway.
Okay guys, so from what we could see here is we're too high and we're going too slow. So we're going to want to increase the power full slowly, and then we're going to want to take out one notch of flaps right away. And then we're going to wait until we start climbing up a little bit. And looks like we're climbing up, climbing. And then we could take out our flaps by another notch. And our last notch. It looks like our speed is increasing. And that's pretty much how you do a go-around. You really just want to be as patient as possible when it comes to this. As many times as it takes, just keep going around and around until you get one that looks perfect to you.
Just to recap, I want you all to know that these are just the basics. Variations in aircrafts, altitude, and weather could all change how you would have to land. If possible, you would want to find a way to communicate on the radio. Air traffic control can guide you in all these types of situations. The button to speak is found in many different places depending on the plane.
Here is a short recording of the passenger in Miami, Florida speaking to air traffic control after his pilot loses consciousness.
559 Delta Whiskey, say your intentions.
I need to get this thing on the ground. I'm flying to King Air.
559 Delta Whiskey, I understand. Are you a pilot unconscious?
My pilot's deceased. I'm a single engine pilot, low time.
Miami 49.
I need help. I'll make you a sign. I need a King Air pilot to talk to
All right, all aircraft stand.
To speak to air traffic control, you are going to want to locate the push-to-talk button on the aircraft. Many times it's located where your hand rests naturally. For example, here it is located on the top of the stick. In this aircraft, it is located behind the yoke where your index finger would be. Thanks for watching and good luck, guys.